everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Ashley Lanese and I share tips that are motivational and spiritual, blending those two together so you can get the best benefit out of it. This week's video is on my 7 tips for how you can heal through self-soothing. This will be a 2-part video as of right now because when I did my research on self-soothing, I was blown away by how many tips that I had. I decided that in honor of my 5-year anniversary of my car accident, why not make this a 2-part structure? So I thought it was only fitting to talk about self-soothing and self-healing. The goal for both of these videos is to give you guys in the moment things you can do to heal yourself, so then that in the long run expands into your full self-healing process. Self-soothing is an umbrella term that falls under the category of self-healing. Self-healing can manifest in many ways. Self-healing can be self-care. Self-healing can be shadow work, which I've made a video on before as well. So self-healing is this overarching structure, and then self-soothing is that in the moment, what can you do to soothe whatever is hurting you right then and right there? The difference between self-soothing and self-care is that self-soothing is a moment to moment, I don't feel good right now, so this is how I am going to alleviate this pain. The pain can be physical, psychological, spiritual, emotional, anything that is disrupting your day and making it hard for you to have a healthy life experience. Self-care and self-healing are long-term selfhoods, whereas self-soothing is a right now selfhood that adds into your knowledge of how to get to those long-term points. All of these selfhoods are woven together, but it is important to understand the minuscule differences of them so that you can add that to your collective knowledge of self-love. Stick around to the end of this video where I share with you this really fun, easy to implement exercise where you can make yourself a promise to do a meditation later, and then in turn, you can apply it and feel instant relief. Tip number 1 for how to instantly create that self-soothing energy is write yourself a note if you are not feeling well. Now, this tip can work for if you've let yourself down, so you need to soothe yourself by offering yourself that forgiveness and that ease, or it can work if someone else has upset you and they're just not apologizing, maybe they just don't care, and you can't get over that hump of that emotional tension. So you apply this practice so that you can have that instant soothing relief and be able to go about your day. So the way that it works is you write yourself a note as if you are the person who caused you harm. So I would say, "Dear Ashley, I am so sorry that I insert hurtful experience," and go on for as long as you need. Have this person, even if this person is you, maybe you let yourself down, have them apologize extensively until you can't find anything else to apologize for. This is actually a psychological technique because once you're done writing the full note, you read it back to yourself, and our subconscious brain is so creative that when you read something back to it, it just takes it in as if that person is actually apologizing to you. So this offers yourself that self-soothing relief right there in the moment. I absolutely love doing this. I've used it. It works. You can try it for yourself though. And it is kind of mind-blowing how your body will react like someone really did apologize, and it will open up doors for you to kind of realize where you were wrong too. Once someone apologizes, it's easy for you to be like, man, now they've apologized and I did all these things wrong too. This is an exercise for you to take accountability and forgive that other person as it feels like they're forgiving you. Tip number 2 for self-soothing instantly is understand your reactions and get your reactions in check. Learn how you need to be helped and try not to freak out. Self-soothing is all about relying on yourself in times of where you need things. You know when you're lacking with self-soothing is when you can't get through a day without having a meltdown and needing other people to come to your rescue and heal you. My sister actually told me a story about how this person couldn't get through a work day without having a meltdown. And my sister talked about how, other people are also dealing with their own issues and this person would just freak out. And the thing is when you get your reactions in check and understand when someone says this, I'm reacting like this. When you do that, when you start to analyze those reactions, what you're trying to accomplish is rely on yourself for comfort. The sad fact about that person who would have those freakouts is they often never really felt okay. Because the thing is we know what we need in a moment to heal, but our culture has trained us to think we need outside sources, outside people, someone to come to our rescue and save the day and do what we're imagining and come in and say the things we need to hear and do the things we need. And really, though, you're getting disappointed because people can't read your mind. A way to quell that is realize I'm reacting like this. I'm still disappointed. A way to alleviate that and shift your reactions is ask yourself, what other ways can you react to process this feeling? Emotions are harder to control, but reactions are easier. So maybe you can't change the fact that you get sad when someone says something, but you can change the way that you react, the way that you express that, because you're not supposed to suppress that sadness, because that leads to, needing more self-healing. Instead, what other ways can you let out this emotional response that doesn't interrupt other people and cause them internal harm? For example, if you're interrupting everyone's workday and you are having meltdowns, maybe you need to take a break and go in your car and sing at the top of your lungs. Maybe you need to take walks in the morning and process it that way. Maybe you need little self-love reminders that pop up on your phone or little breathing exercises that you do in the bathroom. There are other ways you can process your reactions. And also ask yourself, what do you really want someone to do to heal you in this moment? Like, what are you gaining from reacting, trying to get someone else to come over to you and give you counsel? What is it that you really want them to do? Imagine it, and you can imagine it as yourself. What do you need from yourself? Or it's a lot easier for us to imagine it as other people. For instance, if you're upset with someone and you just wish they would come over, have long talks with you, go get some ice cream together, watch a movie. Instead of depending on that other person, spend time with yourself. Write all night instead of having that talking to someone effect. Then go get ice cream with yourself and enjoy your own company. And then finish the night off with watching a movie. You know what you need to heal. Other people don't. And then they end up disappointing you anyway. So rely on yourself, understand your reactions, reroute those reactions through learning about self-love, self-healing, self-discipline, which is the kind of things that I talk about here on this channel. And then once you audit your reactions, figure out that root cause, what you really desire, give it to yourself. That emotion, which is energy in motion, can be expressed in a way that is more fluid and more self-soothing for you in the moment. Tip number 3 is make time for yourself. If you feel this buildup of anxiety in your chest or whatever emotion it is, stop what you're doing and put yourself first. This was something that was so hard for me to learn. I am someone who is a workaholic. I'm always doing things. I fill my days with these crazy schedules where I plan out hour by hour, and I literally hate when my emotional state gets in the way. And I really had to learn that my mental health is way more important than all of the things I gotta check off my list. So I add this point, and it is a short point to add, but you just need that reminder that when you feel anxiety, it's time to do a meditation. It's time to do a chest pounding exercise, which I will talk about in next week's video. It's time to stop everything that you are doing and put yourself first, and that will benefit you in the long run, because let's say you work through it and you keep going, that feeling is just going to build and build and amplify until you take care of it. So you're doing yourself a service by being like, okay, I need to stop now, do what I need, and then you instantly self-soothe, and then you can get back to doing all the things that you said you were gonna do. Tip number 4 for self-soothing is need yourself the way that you need other people. Imagine you are 2 people, and this can be like your higher self and the version you are right now, or your higher self and your lower self. And imagine how much you are there for others and how much healing you bring them, and understand that you can transfer that healing to yourself. Put your self-worth into self-soothing. Self-worth is so important when it comes to self-soothing. So I will link that video below that I made on self-soothing, and understand that you are infinite and you know exactly what you need to heal. You have the winning formula within, and start reverting and depending on yourself the way that we all have been trained to depend on others. It takes relearning and unlearning toxic habits that have been passed down, but once you do that, you open up the room for you to instantly self-soothe. Think about how the world would be, and how people that you help and you soothe and you heal, how much worse off they would be without your healing. You can even reflect on a time when you've helped someone out through something so difficult, and you think about, what if they didn't have that? Really understand the value of the healing techniques that you have within. Repeat the mantra, I need me more than I need anyone else. I need me the same way that I need others. I rely on myself for support. I crave my support. And finally, I lean on myself when times are tough. Tip number 5 for self-soothing instantly is understand the 4 ingredients that make up self-soothing. Those ingredients are believing in yourself, supporting yourself, securing yourself, and giving yourself unlimited self-love. Securing yourself is such a powerful one, because the opposite of security is insecurity. So repeating the mantra, I am securing myself no matter what, puts you in that frame of thinking that you are secure with yourself. You aren't insecure. You instead find this security in the way that you heal you. That does a lot of things for you. It helps your self-soothing abilities. It helps your leadership skills. It helps your charisma. It amplifies your self-efficacy. Having unshakable belief in yourself is so powerful in terms of your self-soothing abilities. Having massive self-love can create this regenerative ability to self-soothe, which I will bring up in next week's video. Remembering those 4 ingredients will come a long way in your instant self-soothing process. Tip number 6 is my favorite tip, and it's the tip we've all been waiting for, which is an instant way to feel relief in a stressful moment, which is in that stressful moment when your energy is all zingy and really just making you feel terrible. Promise yourself later in the future, maybe in 2 hours when I feel a little bit better, or maybe tomorrow Whenever you're back at a ground level state, you will meditate and send yourself right in that moment of that stressfulness positive energy. Let me explain. One time I was super stressed out about something. My anxiety was through the roof. No one was really around to help me, and I was having trouble implementing all of these self-soothing techniques. And so I went over to the mirror, looked myself in the eyes. I was also kind of studying quantum physics. I was looking into the theories about time and how some cultures don't see time as linear, where it's like past, present, future. Some cultures actually see time as very woven, like the past and the present are all intertwined and tangled. There's even another culture that sees the past as ahead of us, the present here, and then the future behind us. So I was studying all of that, really grappling with the concept of time. I go over to the mirror, I can tell I'm just super filled with anxiety, and I looked myself in the eyes and I said to myself, I'm gonna promise myself to meditate when I feel at a ground state where I feel really, really good. And this really transcendental moment happened where, for me, I have super high self-discipline. So make sure if you do this, you actually follow through. Make sure you are like, okay, I'm gonna meditate at a later date in the future and send myself this healing energy. Make sure you actually do that. And so I knew I would, and this transcendental moment happens where you tell yourself you're gonna meditate, you're gonna send yourself self-healing energy in the future to this version of yourself in the present, which by the time it's the future, that's the past self, and you feel that support coming towards you and healing you. This concept is really interesting. It kind of like warps your mind of like space and time. But I had this super goosebumpy experience where I felt myself actually doing it, actually being there for me and sending myself this energy. And I just got this rush of positive energy flow through my soul. And so if you guys request it, I actually might make a meditation where it's connected to self-soothing, where it's like, this is the meditation you guys come back to that you can replay because you needed yourself to send yourself positive energy in a certain moment, and here you are listening to this video. So I would love to do that for you guys. Let me know what you think about that tip. I told some of my friends and they were like, that is so interesting. Like they literally loved the whole making a promise to yourself to send yourself energy later on and heal yourself in that moment. So let me know what you guys think about that tip. Tip number 7 has more to do with the long-term self-healing process than an instant self-soothing. But in honor of my car accident, I had to add it to this video. And it is, understand that metanoia is something that can change your life for the better. In order for you guys to understand this concept, you're probably going to need to know what the word metanoia means if you've never heard that term before. And it is the concept that your pain, your struggles in your life can transform you and transcend you into a better version of yourself. It usually actually happens when you're having a mental breakdown or having a series of nervous breakdowns, like I mentioned in one of the points where a person couldn't get through their day without freaking out. It's very interesting how the hardest times in life can build us to be the best versions of ourselves. And so if you are a person who is going through their self-healing process and it feels like there's no hope and maybe you're having all of these horrible experiences day by day, understand that that can add up to you healing and you being the best version of yourself. It can open you up to a transformation that changes your reactions, changes your tone of heart and heals it, and completely bring you to the true version of your soul that you were always meant to express. This is super true for my car accident. If you guys have read that blog on my car accident, which I always link below, I talk about how it was such a traumatic experience, but then it sprungboarded me to evaluate myself and start my self-healing journey. So that's all I have for you guys today. Thank you so much for watching this video all the way to the end. You are such a rock star. Please feel free to subscribe if you like this video, as I post new videos every week. And I will be posting a video next week on Monday on how to self-soothe again, so look out for that. And I will see you guys in the next video.